Welcome to the Playbook, your ultimate game plan for college sports. 5 guys who live and breathe the game are here to break down the biggest plays, the hottest takes, and the boldest predictions, bringing you segments like The Kickoff.
Jalen Walker, I think, in my personal opinion, could wind up being the very best.
And introducing 3 new segments like the Peach Slate, talking all things Georgia.
Walk the Line, breaking down the crucial overs and unders of the weekend.
And Playbook Picks, where we make our predictions for this weekend's games.
And to end it all off, a signature segment of Who's That Campus Legend. The first hint is this player went to UNC.
It's obviously Drake May.
Dude, it's Michael Jordan.
This is The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome into a very special episode of The Playbook here on Wolf Sports Network. Joined with me today, behind the board, we have secret agent who cannot be named. We don't know his name. You don't know his name. Across from me, we have Nick Wild from, I hear, Zootopia. And right beside me, we have the man with the plan, Fred Jones. You may know him from Scooby-Doo. How you doing today, Fred Jones?
I'm doing good. How we doing, gang?
How we doing, gang?
Did we have our Scooby
How we
snacks?
doing, gang?
We have our
I'm
Scooby
doing-
snacks this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's another episode of the Playbook. I'm super excited.
How about me who cannot be named behind the board?
Just got word from headquarters. I'm doing good.
That's great. So, now, let's get ready to kick off this show. Well, the first thing we're going to be talking about today is Texas A&M Aggies going up against the Oklahoma Sooners last week. JT, give me a rundown.
So we're thinking of Texas A&M, the current SEC favorites right now, currently first place in the SEC. And, I mean, you could argue a couple other teams. You could argue Alabama, Georgia. This conference is still wide open. But do we think that it's time to consider Texas A&M to run away with this conference?
No, and here's why. As much as I love Texas A&M and I love Marcel Reed, Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver, Le'Veon Moss, everything about Texas A&M and how they've been performing this season, I favor Alabama a little bit more. And what separates Alabama from the rest of the teams in the SEC is when they find a particular weakness, they were able to exploit it. For example, the Alabama versus Georgia game, what was the biggest weakness that Alabama was able to exploit versus Georgia? That secondary. And Ty Simpson has been the best quarterback in all of college football, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure in a lot of people's opinions this season. So I would take Alabama slightly over Texas A&M, but I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes, especially when it comes to a very highly competitive SEC.
So I think Texas A&M, they were looking to establish themselves firmly in this SEC championship race against LSU and got 49 to 25 win over them. Marcel Reed combines for 310 yards. But Jackson, I'm at a different I don't know how to say that. I'm messing up words right
It's
now.
a 1A, 1B situation, personally,
I
for me.
think Texas A&M is firmly in the driver's seat over here in the SEC. And it's because you look at their remaining schedule, you have Missouri and Texas. I think that they can easily handle Missouri and they can easily handle Texas.
Yeah, I mean, they've avoided the creme de la creme in the SEC. They haven't played Alabama. They haven't played Georgia. They haven't played Ole Miss. They're not going to play Vanderbilt. Like, they're missing out on the A tier, the A tier, arguably the S tier of SEC teams. So they will make the SEC championship game, but they won't have the test, the battle-tested team that an Alabama does or that an Ole Miss does, that have played these brutal schedules, hit all the big teams in the SEC, and they're ready to go for another big game.
Yeah, and I think this SEC, like, I kind of compare it to, like, you look at – this is kind of going into the NFL a little bit, but I compare Texas A&M and then Alabama and Georgia to, like, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Like, you feel like T. Higgins could be a wide receiver 1 on almost any other team in the league right now, but he is currently that wide receiver 2 because you just have Jamar Chase. And I feel like in this case, Texas A&M is that Jamar Chase of the SEC, and Alabama and Georgia are that T. Higgins. Like, put them in any other conference, they will probably be first. But since the SEC is such a tough conference to be in and to play in, and they have a lot tougher competition than what Jamar Chase has had so far, aka Texas A&M. I mean, I say that Texas A&M is probably the favorites. Most likely, with their rest of the season schedule, will win out all these games and will be in that SEC championship.
Oh yeah, I think Texas A&M, I think firmly has put themselves into where they're going to get one of those spots. The other one is up for debate. You have Georgia and Alabama. Georgia, their only tough remaining game in the SEC is Texas. And you have Alabama, who still has LSU, Oklahoma, and Auburn. I think they slip up on one of those games. But you don't think they slip up
Texas
on one?
A&M is bound to mess up,
No.
but
You don't
I
think
expect it to
Alabama
be-
lose to LSU, Oklahoma, or Auburn? I
No.
think they lose one
No.
of those games.
I mean,
I think they
Auburn's
wind
always
up losing one
Texas
of those
A&M
games.
is bound to lose a game at some point, and if there was any time for it to happen, it was last week against Mizzou, not against Mizzou, but last week. I think that was
against
the game.
LSU.
LSU,
No,
yes.
or this week
That-
versus Mizzou, but unfortunately
This week
Mizzou is
versus
without Bo Pribula
No Bo.
heading into this game. That's the only other way I would have seen Texas A&M with a foreseeable loss. But you also look at Alabama, and Aiden brought up a great point. I think it comes with credibility and strength of schedule. Alabama has taken down Georgia, for example, and outside of the loss of FSU early on in the season, they have had comfortable wins that really show that they can be solidified as the number one spot for the SEC.
So another result that happened from the LSU Texas A&M game last weekend was Brian Kelly has now been fired, and now we also have the AD over there at LSU who wound up getting fired over this past week. So LSU's just kind of in sports turmoil right now, and Brian Kelly finished his career at LSU 34-14, but 19-10 within the SEC.
Yeah.
So do we think that this could be one of the best job openings in college football, and is it the best?
I would say it's the best. LSU has you get the biggest boosters. It's the SEC. It just means more allegedly, and so coaching for one of those big programs down in Baton Rouge, LSU's always a big job. They give you the support. You bring in the recruits always. Louisiana produces talent down there, and they all want to go and play for LSU. It's a great job to have, but they haven't found somebody since Ed O got it going for a couple years down there. And Brian Kelly was not the guy to continue the legacy. I always felt Brian Kelly was when he was getting fired, not if he was getting fired, because he never settled into the SEC really, never could get it done in the big games, which you're going to have every single week in the SEC.
I mean, the only other job openings I can see attesting versus LSU would be Penn State or Florida. Those are the only other two that I can really see attesting for that. Obviously, Penn State had set a standard around and a scheme around James Franklin for the past 12 to 13 years. So whoever is going to fill those shoes, obviously we've discussed it multiple times on the playbook. They want to fill it up more. They want more wins and somebody who, can really boost this team that James Franklin couldn't. And then when it comes to Florida, Florida has one of the most talented all-around rosters in college football. I think when it comes to the right play caller and the right college football coach, do they bring back Urban Meyer? I'm playing. They're not going to do that. There's a lot of speculations when it comes to that. But LSU, I think I would have LSU right now as a solidified number one spot and a potential Ed O return, and I would love to see that.
I don't think Ed O's going to return back.
I would love
I don't
to
think
see it in
LSU's going to welcome
Baton
in
Rouge.
Ed O with everything that was going on with him off the field whenever he got fired.
I don't know. LSU, they fired their AD.
Yeah.
They need someone who could come in, settle the program. Ed O's a familiar face. It might be
They're just going the Arkansas route and just bring it back, Bobby
bring it back.
Petrino.
Yeah, bring it back. Settle it down. Get the team right. Proven championship winner.
I don't know. I still feel like Penn State is that solidified number one. I mean, LSU firing their AD right after firing their head coach. I mean, they're really falling off right now in that aspect of like you're going to need a good coach and a good AD to be able to have a good program. And so if athletes are noticing, hey, like they're going full reset right now, like they're not going to want to go there. So I feel like Penn State is currently that best option just because also they have a better history. They get to play Ohio State every year. Like, you have those opportunities, the better games. I feel like you could say maybe the better conference, but I feel like SEC right now currently is the better conference.
SEC
Well, no,
is and will
featured-
always be the better
Well, now,
conference.
hold up. You mentioned better
Always be.
opportunities.
Yeah,
And you see, the
LSU's playing
SEC
Bama.
currently has 10
Florida's playing
teams that
Georgia.
are ranked in the top 25.
Well,
Yeah.
you also
I feel
realize
like-
they fired James Franklin because they want to win the whole thing, and
Yeah.
James Franklin has not been able to do that.
Right.
So that is the best opening position because the coaches that go there, the coaches that they're recruiting, are going to want to win it all. They're not going to just settle with another James Franklin. They're going to go for somebody that wants to win the entire thing.
But yeah, that's how LSU's job is looked at right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how LSU fans view LSU right now. as
LSU is
well.
not at any point able to contend right now, and I feel like
I
getting
think that
getting
there's
a
a
good
hotbed for
coach,
recruiting. That's
Yeah.
my biggest
LSU,
sell on
yeah.
LSU.
getting a good coach is not going to boost them up.
I don't
Speaking
know.
of a good coach and reverting back to the SEC and LSU situation,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of speculation that Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin might leave that position in Mississippi and go to Baton Rouge. What are your thoughts on that,
There's-
Bill Schwartzky?
There's no telling where Lane Kiffin is going to wind up
Yeah,
going
Lane
this all
Kiffin-
season, but
yeah.
let me tell you, we're all going to be watching it because it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, Lane
There's
Kiffin's
one
gonna
thing
have-
about Lane Kiffin is he's going to make this entire job market entertaining, no matter if he stays at Ole Miss or if he winds up going to Florida or anywhere else.
He's
So-
going to have the decision with Lane Kiffin, have all the hats lined up in front of him. It's happening. I know it.
Like signing day? So, like, hypothetically, we talked about the Penn State opening. We talked about the LSU opening. This Florida opening, they had some success. I wouldn't say some success. I would say they were a mid-tier team with Dan Mullen. They were a mid-tier team with Billy Napier. Billy and Napier did something with something. I'm not going to say a lot with a little or a little with a lot.
Well, there's a lot of talent. He did a little with a lot. I think
Yeah.
that's what.
But with this Florida job opening, who can you see maybe sliding themselves into that position?
I said it 3 weeks ago before he wound up getting fired at Penn State. James Franklin is the perfect guy to take on over there at Florida. You get a guy who's not really into drama at all. You get a guy who has established that he can win and compete within a big-name conference such as the SEC. And recruiting-wise, he doesn't really have to do much because Florida can really sell itself. So I think that James Franklin to Florida makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I just feel like he's the perfect fit. It's somebody that, I mean, like you mentioned, there's nothing against him right now. He just wasn't able to win the whole thing with Penn State. So if you bring him into a program like Florida who has that talent, a top 5 roster in all of college football right now, I feel like that would be a great fit for James Franklin.
My pick for the Florida job is going to be Alex Golesh. the
Hey,
head
I do
coach
like
over there
Alex
at South.
Golesh.
Yeah, this coach over there at South Florida built a program in the state already. Beat Florida with half the resources, if that, this year. I think you give him that job and see what he can do. He's young, and he's proven himself to be a winner so far.
Well, with sources still out there, still thinking about Mike Norvell and what's going to happen with him over there at Florida State, we'll see if maybe they make a run over there for Goresh.
I mean, Jimbo Fisher is also a name that's being thrown around as well.
Jimbo Fisher's not coming back to coaching.
You don't
Nick
know that?
Saban is not coming back to coaching. All of these guys who want to bring up old coaches coming back to the places that they were coaching at, it's not going to happen, you guys.
You don't know that. Do you have any inside sources?
Bro, it's not going to happen.
Bill Schwartzky?
It's not going to happen, James.
You just, yeah. I mean, it
Hey,
just
I'm
doesn't
Nick
make.
Wild.
I'll be honest. Jimbo Fisher coming back for the Florida job just makes no sense. Jimbo Fisher has nothing left to gain from taking a Florida job. I don't think he enjoys coaching anymore, to be honest with you. He did not look like he wanted to be there in College Station a lot of the time.
But another guy that, speaking on the other end of the coaching spectrum, Clark Leah, who has Vanderbilt up in the top 10. What do we think of these Commodores, JT?
I think that Vandy might just finish the rest of the season undefeated until they face Tennessee. I think that what we've seen out of Vandy these past few weeks, yes, they had that tough loss to Alabama, but then beating LSU and then beating Missouri last week, which, yes, Bo Pribula got hurt, so you could argue that maybe that was a little bit of a fluke on Vandy's half to win that game. But I feel like Vandy, what we've seen so far in the rest of the season, like, they've had comfortable wins those first 5 weeks before they played Bama. And looking at the rest of their schedule, yes, they're in the toughest point of their schedule right now. They take on Texas, and then they have Auburn, Kentucky, and then end off with Tennessee. Like, they could very well lose all of these games, and I wouldn't be surprised.
They're not losing to Kentucky.
I would be shocked if they
They're not
lost to
losing to
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
they could
bro.
very well win all these games, and I would not be surprised either. I mean, looking at it, okay, maybe Kentucky could be all right. But
Give them the win already.
yeah, we'll give them
That's
the win
only
already for
SEC
that
auto
one.
win.
But still, Texas, Auburn's always a tricky team to play against, and the Tennessee last game of the season in Tennessee, in Rocky Top. I mean, Vandy could very well lose one or two of these games. Maybe if they lose one of these games, they might sneak in to the playoffs and not have to play in the SEC championship, which would be their best option. If they win out, they need Georgia or Alabama or Texas A&M to win out. And if Vandy manages to win out as well, I feel like Vandy has that best shot.
He's just really pushing and proving my point on why Alabama is the #1 team in the SEC.
How?
You just,
I didn't. What are you
you
talking
just said
about?
you just said Vanderbilt is a top 3 team in the SEC right now. And Vanderbilt
Did I
had
say
a
that?
really
No,
tough
I did not.
loss versus Alabama, and Alabama has had really strong wins versus really tough teams. And we
I
talk
did
about
not say
credibility
anything
for strength of schedule.
Jacksonville
Nick
is
Wild
right.
is going
didn't say
wild over
anything
there, you
about
guys.
You think
Book it.
about it.
I was talking
And-
about Vandy.
I mean,
What are we
secret,
on about?
Secret
And who beat
agent,
Vandy?
Agent
Yes,
80.
Alabama
exactly.
beat Vandy, but I mean, I never
Hold
said
up.
that Vandy was a top 3 team. I said that they have a chance to sneak into the playoffs. I
He
never
did
said
say
anything.
they could lose to Auburn.
I was
and they
not
could
saying-
lose to
and I
Texas.
said-
He also said they could lose to Kentucky. So, like, what are we talking about here?
Well,
What
I was
are we
just looking
talking
at
about here?
it's an SEC game. There's gonna be some type of competition in it, no matter who it is.
I think
I mean-
Vanderbilt's pretty good.
true.
Van-
Yeah, I was about to
Vandy's
say,
a-
I think Vanderbilt could very well get into the college
Vandy's-
football playoff.
Vandy's a great team. Like, why are we changing the topic
I'm
back
not
to
dis- I'm
Alabama?
not-
I'm talking about how
No.
Vandy can finish out the season strong,
Alabama's
make the
pretty good too.
playoffs.
I don't think
Play devil's
that,
advocate, bro.
I don't,
Unbelievable.
dude. I don't think that they have the schedule left. I think they wind up losing one of those games, probably to Tennessee, and that's going to keep them out of the SEC championship game.
Yeah,
But
they
I
can
think that
sneak into the
for sure
playoffs.
they could for sure get one of those to get that like 12 seed and get into the playoffs.
I mean, even if
Exactly.
they win out, they're still not in the SEC championship game if Alabama does.
Yeah,
Alabama's
that's
got
what
the
I'm saying.
tiebreaker,
Like, yeah, I think that Alabama and Texas A&M might be our SEC championship.
And
game.
I wasn't saying that that's like the scenario that's going to happen. I'm saying like if that does happen, that's the best case scenario for Vandy because they don't have to play in that SEC championship,
Get a week
and they can
break.
still get into the playoffs.
Hey, I could very well see that happening, JT. Great take.
Hey, I was about to say Vanderbilt. Jackson, where do you think Vanderbilt winds up, Jackson?
Where do I think Vanderbilt winds up when
Yeah.
I'm looking? Are you talking about in the SEC or playoffs or just
No, both. Just
both.
where do you
Both.
think their season ends at?
I think they win the rest of their games besides Tennessee. Because I like what Joey Aguilar and the whole Tennessee strength of schedule and how they've been performing throughout their season. I think Vanderbilt ends up in maybe a four set range when it comes to SEC rankings. And then I think maybe an 11 or 12 seed in the playoffs. Therefore, I'm just saying we said comfortable wins. Alabama had a comfortable win versus Vanderbilt.
Yeah, so did,
Alabama
they
had a
also
comfortable win against Georgia.
Tennessee, who Vandy plays last game of the season. So we can't. I mean,
Georgia,
Vandy
Tennessee.
Vandy lost by 16 to Alabama. Tennessee lost by 17 to Alabama. So
Yeah.
I'm one-upping you here. Vandy
It's
might
gonna beat
even
by
Tennessee
1 point.
I wouldn't be
By an
surprised
extra point.
By an extra point or 2 point
like I
conversion.
mentioned, Vandy might very well win out the rest of the season. Yes, but also Alabama might. I'm not gonna play against you guys. Alabama's a great team.
We always got to think
It's
about
probably
Alabama.
going to be Texas A&M and Alabama. Considering they both are going to win out, they will be in the SEC championship game. I can very well see Vandy also winning out and possibly beating this Tennessee team last week of the season.
Oh, look, we're talking about two teams that are from the state of Tennessee, but I think we're going to go into a quick ad break and talk about some teams from Georgia.
Here in the South, college sports are pretty big, and well, that's a good thing. 'Cause you're listening to the Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
Sports Out of Pocket is bringing the energy with zero chill, talking all the hot button issues in professional sports.
And on Friday at noon, we get you ready for your college football weekend with the Playbook.
You won't want to miss out on all the action this semester at Wolf Sports Network.
Sports Out of Pocket has a brand new showtime. Yeah. But what time is it at? I don't know. It's not 5 to 6. It's not 7 to 8. It's 6, 7. Wolf Sports Network. Hello? Can anybody hear me? I can't see anything. It's like a snowstorm out here.
JT, I need your help.
What? Who goes there?
I'm the ghost of Out of Pocket Past,
Nah, bro. I don't mess with ghosts.
but I need a sports fan that has zero chill.
Well, now that you mentioned that, this is going to be Out of Pocket. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket, Zero Chill, Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network. It's time for Season 2 of the Playbook, and we're talking all things college football, putting together a better sophomore season than Tim Tebow in 2007.
To the listeners and everybody at Wolf Nation, I promise you one thing. You will never see an on-air personality work as hard as I will for Season 2 of the Playbook, and we will make this show better than any college football radio show will ever be for Season 2 of the Playbook.
Listen as we fulfill this promise, live, every Friday at noon.
From Athens to Atlanta, Statesboro to Macon. If college football is being played in the Peach State, we're all over it. This is the Peach Slate.
So now in our first segment, we talked about all the national college football news. But right here in the city of dreams, you know it, the city that starts with a C, ends with an N, and there's an arrow throw in between. We had the Wolves take on the Central Arkansas Bears in our homecoming game. JT, walk me through what you were seeing down there.
I was very stressed out. I'm gonna start speaking in your voice. Sorry there. But this game just was unbelievable. Yes, we got the win, but it was just an unbelievable game. Like, we were down 17-6 going into that fourth quarter against a team that we should not have been down against in the first place. We were favored by a touchdown in this one, and we only won on a touchdown in those last minutes. Going into that fourth quarter, I mentioned we were down 17-6. And then all of a sudden, our offense started getting it together. Our defense actually started making stops. Davin Weiner's final game stats, 17 for 32, 175 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, adding 81 yards on the ground. And then that last possession that we had for West Georgia's offense, we were down, I believe it was 17-12 at that time. And we decided to go for 2 that last part, didn't get it. And so then we're down 17-12 going into this last drive. And Owen Dupree for the West Georgia Wolves had 3 amazing plays in a row that were just unbelievable. Mossed 2 guys in the middle of the field. And then the last play there where he caught the ball near the sideline, spun around, ran into the end zone, put us up 18-17, and then Davin Winder proceeded to throw a pick on the 2-point. But we won't talk about that. Davin's kind of looked iffy in this game. But overall, our defense decided to finally step up. We saw a little bit of what we saw the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season with this West Georgia defense. And yes, we got the win. It shouldn't have been as close as it was, but I'm glad we got the win on homecoming.
Now, Joey, what did you see down there on the sidelines? Because you were down there taking pictures for Wolf Sports Network. What did you see down there?
It was I'd say most of the game was sloppy until that fourth quarter, and it just was like Coach finally was like, all right, y'all can have fun now. And the team woke up and just played their hearts out, left everything on the field in those final 9 minutes and 39 seconds, by the way. That is when we finally got the ball back. 9 minutes, 39 seconds left in the fourth, down 17-6, and that's when we made the comeback. It was amazing. So
Yeah.
I was very proud to see our team do that.
Definitely a homecoming that no one here is going to forget. Aiden, did you want to add to it? You look like you wanted to add to it. No?
Nothing, no comment.
All right. Well, now we're going to move on over here to Joey, Kennesaw State. What happened with Kennesaw State, and what's the 6-game winning streak that they're on right now?
Man.
You lost your accent.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
I only get that excited and bring it out when we talk about the Wolves, okay?
The Wolves.
So, yes, Kennesaw State currently on a 6-game win streak, which they just added to, of course, by beating UTEP in dominating performance. Which this 6th win is going to put them in bowl contention now after going 2-10 in last season.
Yeah.
So an amazing turnaround right here. By the way, started the game with a scoop and score for a 23-yard fumble recovery touchdown, and then a punt return touchdown of 57 yards. UTEP did get on the board with field goal touchdown in the second and third quarter with actually the same exact pattern and almost same amount of yards for both to get their 20 points in the game before Kennesaw would shut them out in the fourth quarter by going rushing touchdown, field goal, rushing touchdown.
Wow.
beautiful
now-
game by the Owls.
We can see if the Owls can keep up that 6-game winning streak and extend it going on into the season. They're atop the Conference USA right now. And then we had Georgia Southern, who was on a bye, and then Georgia Tech getting the 41-16 win over Syracuse. Finally getting a good win.
The
where
first
they
time,
looked
yeah,
good.
First
Aiden.
time this season in conference play that haven't had to sweat a game too much past the second quarter. Haynes King goes for 395 total yards, 5 touchdowns. They just dominant every single facet of the game.
Now, I'm starting to look at these Heisman races a little bit. And not to be biased here, but where do we think Haynes King lines up?
I think he's
within
top
the
5.
Heisman race.
I think he is currently top 5. So obviously you have the top 3: Julian Sayin, Lenore Sellers, and I'm forgetting his name.
Ty
I'm blanking.
Simpson?
Ty Simpson, yes.
I can't believe I had to be the one to say that.
Yes, so those 3 are probably the very clear top 3. And then in those 4 and 5 slots, I mean, Haynes King, I could definitely see sneaking into that right now. Now, like Aiden mentioned, this is the first game that Georgia Tech fans have not had to sweat out the entire game. They had a very, very comfortable win against Syracuse this week, when just the week before they played against Duke and they had to sweat out that win.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what we're seeing out of Georgia Tech now, maybe they're starting to pick it up a little bit more. And as somebody who somewhat roots for the Dogs, I do think that Georgia Tech is definitely going to give them a problem.
Joey, where do you think Haynes King is on this Heisman race?
I agree. He's definitely top 5, knocking on the door of top 3, though. I could see him knocking on the door of top 3 by the end of the season, being in that 3rd spot, if not the 2nd spot.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down between him and Ty Simpson. I think they're the 2 best quarterbacks in the country. I can't see a world in which anybody lives where they think Julian Sayin is a quarterback they would prefer over Haynes King.
In
That's
fact,
just
I'll
not
say
so-
something to that. I don't see the only reason Julian Sayin is probably in this conversation is because his team's undefeated.
It's a good take.
I mean,
I will say, Julian Sayin has been a good quarterback, leads the nation in completion percentage over there at Ohio State. He has the weapons around him, though, and this is my argument for Haynes King, and that is that Haynes King doesn't have the weapons around him that Ty Simpson does.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the weapons that Fernando Mendoza has around him.
Yep.
He doesn't have the weapons that Julian Sayin does.
Yeah.
So I think that Haynes King, when you look at Heisman and what it's supposed to be to me, it's going to be the guy that means the most to his team.
Mm-hmm.
And I would bet money right now that Haynes King means more to his team than any other player in the entire country.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to say
Absolutely.
earlier I said Lenore Sellers. I meant Fernando Mendoza. I don't know why I got those two mixed up. Fernando Mendoza is currently that Heisman frontrunner in my eyes, and I think Ty Simpson's that close second. And like you guys were saying, like I kind of agree with Joey. I feel like Julian Sayin is really only in Heisman talks right now in that top 3 because Ohio State is currently the #1 team in the nation. But that's big part to do with their defense. They have the best defense in the nation, and you could argue that. But they do have they have the top defense in all of college football. They have great weapons on offense. Julian Sayin has all the help that he needs to be up there.
Yeah, but it's Ohio State, so they're the best of the mid-tier teams, and I will say that on air because it's true.
I don't think they're a
Best of the
mid-tier
mid-tier
team. I think
teams.
that we've been waiting on Ohio State to lose a game, but they've been able to win every single game this season, and they've been able to do just enough to win every single game.
Yeah, I think
Like,
their success has nothing to do with their quarterback play, though. And I think
he's a good enough quarterback
Yeah.
that he can lead a great team to a national championship.
Yeah, if Julian Sayin got hurt at the start of the year, Ohio State's probably still 8-0. In my thoughts.
Exactly.
And if Haynes King gets hurt for this Georgia Tech team, they could be sitting at 4-4 right now.
So are we saying he's a
not worse.
system quarterback?
Yes.
I'm saying that he's a quarterback that has an embarrassment of riches around him. He has like 3 of the best 5 receivers in the country.
Yep.
Just sitting there and it's embarrassing what they got.
So
at
we're
Ohio State.
definitely going to have to look at some Heisman odds coming up. But in the meantime, to bet on, we have some stuff from our Walk the Line segment.
There is no way Carson Beck is throwing for 240 this game.
Are you kidding me? This is a cakewalk for him. I'm hitting the over.
Walk the line.
So coincidentally enough, in that stager,
Yep.
you heard the name Carson Beck, who we've talked about a lot on the show. And our first stop is going to be down in Miami, where we have the Miami Hurricanes taking on the SMU Mustangs. JT, what do you guys say about it?
So we mentioned Carson Beck. It's funny enough that he's in the stager. But Carson Beck, his line in this game is at 249.5 passing yards. So throughout the season, we've seen him hit this line only 3 times against Boston College, USF, and Louisville. Funny enough, Boston College, I mean, they won that game pretty convincingly, and he didn't have to throw the ball too much, but yet he still got over that mark. USF, we've seen is a kind of a sneaky team where he then proceeded to throw 2 interceptions in that game as well. And then the last game against Louisville, he hit that mark while throwing 4 interceptions and no touchdowns and losing that game. I think that Carson Beck is not as good as people think he is. We saw earlier on in the season, everyone was like, oh yeah, he's definitely the best quarterback in the nation. And then we saw what happened against Louisville. But this game against SMU might change all of that because Carson Beck is taking on Kevin Jennings. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Kevin Jennings has been doing wonders over in SMU, has over 2,000 passing yards on the season already. I feel like Carson Beck, this is going to be a shootout. I feel like Miami's going to win this one, but I think that Carson Beck might have over 300 yards for the first time this season.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've seen SMU struggle against good quarterbacks. You see Josh Hoover earlier in the season at TCU. You saw Sawyer Robertson over there at Baylor. Both of them had big games against this SMU defense. And you add on top of that Carson Beck's out to prove himself after that 4-touchdown performance against Louisville. I think this game winds up staying close, and that keeps Carson Beck throwing the football. And I think he winds up throwing for at least 275 yards in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, I stick with passing yards for mine for the week, and that's going to be Joey Aguilar taking on the Oklahoma Sooners over there in Knoxville. And Joey Aguilar, he's proven to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football right now. And I don't have any faith in this Oklahoma defense.
Whoa.
After what I've seen against Texas, after what I've seen last week against Ole Miss. Like, I was ready to put this Oklahoma defense right there at the same status with Ohio State's defense before that Texas game because it looked like they were just playing otherworldly. But there's been 2 out of the last 3 games that haven't looked so hot. So, I don't know. I think that Trinidad Chambliss had a really good game last week against the Oklahoma defense. I think Joey Aguilar is a better quarterback than Trinidad Chambliss is. And I think that Joey Aguilar winds up throwing for over, 258 yards.
That's a take and a half, saying that Aguilar is better than Trinidad Chambliss. I think that this Oklahoma defense, yes, they may have stumbled these past couple weeks, but Joey Aguilar is not throwing for over 258 passing yards in this game. This is one of the best defenses in the nation still. I don't care what these last couple weeks have shown us. Oklahoma's defense is still up there. You can still very confidently put them in the top 5 conversation of defenses in the nation. And just a few weeks before that, you could consider them maybe even number 1, maybe next to Ohio State in that conversation. I think that Tennessee's not going to be able to pass the ball. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball against this Oklahoma defense. I think this will be a very low-scoring game. I don't think Joey Aguilar's hitting that line.
So Tennessee has a better offense than Ole Miss does, just all around. And Ole Miss just put up 38 against them.
That's also a take. I don't know.
That's not a take at all. What are we talking about?
No,
I think Ole Miss has a better
Tennessee
offense.
has a run game that Ole Miss doesn't have, and then they have a quarterback who I just said, Joey Aguilar, who I would argue is better than Trinidad Chambliss.
I don't agree with any of the words coming out of your mouth right now. No,
brother.
Yeah,
Trinidad Chambliss is
stick to the Wolves.
yeah.
Oh, well. But next up that we are going to go is Zachariah Branch.
Yeah, Zachariah Branch, his line set at 55.5 yards this week against Florida. And this Florida defense is not good. They're 104th, allowing 8 yards per passing attempt in the country. That's and Colby Young just fractured his leg, so Zachariah Branch's targets are going to go up and up. He's probably going to get about 10 targets this week. If you do the math there, 10 targets, 8 yards per attempt. That's 80 yards right there.
Mm-hmm. I think this is an easy over for Zachariah Branch. I don't think what we've seen out of this Florida defense so far this season, they've been able to give up points after points after points, and Zachariah Branch is going to have a field day against Florida.
That's right.
Now, I do think this is going to be a little bit of a worry game because Florida did fire their head coach, Billy Napier. So maybe that's a little bit of a worry, but I do think that Georgia is very going to convincingly win this game. I think Zachariah Branch might even have over 100 yards in this game. I can very well see it.
So I think Georgia convincingly wins this game, and that's why I don't have Zachariah Branch going over 55 yards. and that is that he's not going to get the receptions that he needs to get 55 yards.
Nah, he'll break a screen
And
pass.
I don't.
He will.
Maybe on a 3rd and 12, we know.
That's right. 3rd and 12 screen pass. Zachariah Branch will go for 30.
Like Florida coming
to
into
me.
this game, there's a lot of Florida players that are probably ticked off about what's going on over there with the whole Billy Napier thing. We're going to see them for the first time since he's been fired. They're going to be probably fired up. They're probably going to be emotional over there. And I would say there's probably going to be a whole lot of penalties thrown against this Florida defense because they're just going to go out. This is a rivalry game. They're just going to want to get under Georgia's skin. And I think that Zachariah Branch winds up staying under 55 yards in this game. Joey, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't see Branch getting over 55, so. But, I don't know. We'll see this Saturday, I guess, though.
Right.
Joey,
We will.
we also, you're the last guy for this. We have your Army quarterbacks because we know how much you love them. Tell me all about Kale Helms.
Well, so earlier, I saw the line was at 90.5. Well, I just relooked at it, and thank goodness I did, because they have improved it to 111.5 for the over-under rushing yards
Got you.
for their quarterback. And I personally think he can do it, if not go well over, with how bad Air Force is and the fact Army is just so good at throwing or running it through Air Force every single season. Now, he has averaged about 86 yards per game, but I could even see him going for 150 this game.
Yeah, he's picked it up in the last 2 weeks. 140 rushing yards against Charlotte, 163 against Tulane on 38 carries last week.
Yep.
And this Air Force defense is probably the actual worst in the country. They are terrible. They don't give up less than 45 points a game.
Rutgers does exist.
Rutgers defense is not as bad as this Air Force
Not
one.
as bad as Air Force.
Air Force, Air Force is a really bad defense. Kale Helms has been running the rock very well lately. I'll take the over on this one as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, triple option offense, you're going to have your quarterback carry the ball a whole lot. I think that he winds up getting over 90.5. He could reach that 150-yard mark that you were talking about earlier. But we'll see this week at JT.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that this triple option is going to be crucial in this game against a very, very poor defense that they're playing against. I think this is an easy over.
So, yeah, we all wound up picking Kale Helms to go over, and we will go into an ad break. And when we come back, we will make some picks of our own from this weekend's games.
Throw it on a dime. It's Matty Fresh, and you're listening to The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
This season, everything changes. I'm the only one who came back, and honestly, I might regret it.
Josh Allen might just be the best athlete the NFL has ever seen.
Spencer Strider is an elite closer posing as an ace.
D Rose is the most overrated player of all time.
One vet, all new voices, hot takes, wild debates, and zero chill. Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket debuts this fall, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Ian's freestyle went big. But we're going to go bigger.
Dang, it's my first season. I feel like a star. I be dropping hot takes. I speak real bizarre. How many views we gonna get? I'd say about 1 mil. Out of Pocket Season 6. We got zero chill. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket. Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome to the Boring Sports Show, where we only bring the most boring sports takes.
Who are you? I am Hot Takes Man, and I defend the world from boring sports shows like yours. Another day's work for Hot Takes Man. Citizen, if you want to save yourself from boring sports content, then tune in to Sports Out of Pocket, Wednesdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network.
Listen up, because I got to tell you, Sports Pack is back and better than ever right here on Wolf Sports Network. Sports Pack is UWG's one-stop shop for all things sports. From hot takes to heated debates and even your best bets for the week, Sports Pack has you covered. So don't miss out on the fun. Catch us right here on Wolf Sports Network every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Playbook picks.
You heard it right. It's time for us to get in our playbook picks where we pick our college football games from the weekend. And to start this weekend, we have Clemson and Duke. Aiden, who do you have winning this game?
I'm going to go Duke, 3.5-point underdogs right now on the road in Death Valley. But I really like what I've seen from Darian Mensah. He looked unstoppable against Georgia Tech when I watched that game. And I think he has a big game against this Clemson defense this week.
Jackson?
Nick
Duke.
Wild. My bad. Nick Wild.
Duke. I don't think the Duke Blue Devils record really attests for how good offensively Darian Mensah has been. He's been one of the more underrated college football quarterbacks when it comes to offensive rating and statistical wise. So I'm not really big on Clemson this year. Nobody's really big on Clemson this year, and I think their record truly shows it. So I'm gonna go with the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I have to go with Duke as well. Now, both of these teams coming off of losses this past week. Duke going against Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago. Duke coming off a bye week now.
Yeah.
Going into Clemson, I think that Duke gets this one done very easily. Like Jackson said, Nick Wild said, Clemson is not the team. They're not a good team, and their record proves it. Duke is a much better team than what their record shows. Give me Duke in this one.
So Clemson is undoubtedly having their worst season under Dabo Swinney. There's turmoil. There's questions happening all around the program right now. I feel like their season's already over with. They don't really care about this game. But I think Duke winds up winning this game. But you guys, I got to ask, if the Duke Blue Devils travel down to Carrollton, Georgia, take on these West Georgia Wolves, the Wolves. What do you think that result would be?
Give me Wolves 72-2.
Nick Wild, what you got?
Do you want me to be honest? I'm going to take Duke by like 66
That's
to
the problem.
67.
That's the problem. He's a hater. Mute his mic, board up. Mute his mic right now.
Mute his
mic right now.
No.
Next time, make this take during an ad break.
The Wolves 67 to 41.
The Wolves.
Unbelievable.
I got the Wolves. 72-0. And next up we have USC and Nebraska. With Nebraska. Aiden, who do you have in this game?
All right, USC. USC on the road to Lincoln. I about said they were at home there. Nebraska. I got Nebraska, 111,000 Cornhusker faithful watching Patrick Mahomes sling the rock.
Who are you, Chris Collinsworth?
I've hated on USC every single week on this show, and I'm going to keep it up.
What a play.
Nick
Bill Schwarnsky, you bought me into the USC hype around week 4 or 5 of the playbook, and I'm looking at this. As much as I like Nebraska and like the mobility and the run game that's centered around there, and by the way, Matt Rule just got extended. That's going to light a fire under him as well. But will it be enough to take down these Trojans? No, it will not be. I'm going to take the Trojans in this one by a touchdown because I like Maiva. I like Makai Lemon and the connection that, they have there.
Yeah, I don't think that Nebraska has played anybody too hot this season, and I think that this is going to be their best matchup of the season against a tough USC team led by Jordan Maiava. I just think that USC is going to get this one done. I think this is going to be not a very close game. Give me USC by like 2 touchdowns.
So Nebraska has had trouble in the trenches, both offensively and defensively, all year, and that's where USC has excelled this whole entire season. USC has one of the best offenses in the entire country, and I think that they wind up getting it done. But you guys, we got to talk about if USC was going to come to Carrollton, Georgia. How do you think they'd fare against the Wolves?
Do you want me to be honest? I'm going to take the Wolves.
Wolves.
Yeah, so looking at it, I think that even if we only had Coach Joel Taylor out there on the field, I still think the Wolves get it done.
The Wolves.
Give me Coach Taylor 21 to USC Trojans 17.
The Wolves.
All right, give me the Wolves 176-0. No touchdowns allowed over here to USC.
The Wolves.
I'm not going to give them no credit. No. And then moving on, we have the world's largest cocktail party happening down in Jacksonville between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators. Unnamed board op. What do we got?
This one is tough for me because I think that Florida all right, is going to get the adrenaline rush that teams get when coaches get fired. Go out. It's a rivalry game, the biggest rivalry game of the year for Florida and maybe for Georgia too.
There will be blood.
Yeah. Huge. It's a good movie reference right there. So Florida just fired their coach. They're going to get that adrenaline rush. I'm going to take Florida over Georgia. Big upset.
Ooh.
Get the program moving back in the right direction. Don't hate me.
All right.
I don't know what they're
Nick
giving.
Wild.
I don't know what they're feeding you in government, lunches. But I don't like what you're doing, and I don't like what you said when
Get that
you
guy
gave the
some
prediction.
Scooby snacks.
Georgia versus Florida. I understand that Florida has like one of the most talented rosters in all of college football, but they haven't been able to emphasize on it. And I understand your whole perspective when a coach gets fired, but Georgia, I mean, it's going to be Georgia by this many. Like Georgia's gonna, the dogs are gonna bark on them Gators. So give me Georgia.
Line's
For
only
those
at
wondering,
7.5.
Nick Wild spread his arms out really big. If you're not watching on YouTube and you're listening on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this game, like we've seen teams in the past so far this season that when they fire their head coach, they come back firing and they win their next game. And so Florida Gators just so happened to fire Billy Napier, and now their next game is against the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I have to agree with Jackson. I don't think this is going to be a close game at all. I would say I'm a little bit nervous for the Georgia Bulldogs, but I'm not. This has not been a good Florida Gators team so far this season. I think Georgia's obviously they're 5th ranked in the country. They're one of the top teams in the country. Like it says it right there. I think Georgia wins this one pretty convincingly.
All right, I think Florida's playing with nothing to lose here. I think the game gets ugly quick. But when the game gets ugly, I think that Florida winds up just going out and just making a whole bunch of personal fouls against Georgia.
That's fair.
I think Georgia does wind up winning this game, but Florida's they're gonna beat some dogs up a little bit. But now, what do we think is gonna happen if the Georgia Bulldogs came down to Carrollton, Georgia, to take on the West Georgia Wolves? The Wolves.
Do you want me to be honest?
Come on, man.
You have to be. That's your job.
The Wolves.
The Wolves.
Yeah, I got to go with the Wolves here.
I'm going with the Wolves again. I'm going to go by a larger margin. I'm going to go 200-0. But now, moving on to Cincinnati and Utah. Big 12, it's fun, Aiden. You're going to realize it watching this game. Who do you have?
Yeah, a lot of people were asking me what I was up to on my week off, and the answer was everything but watching Big 12 football or having a single thought about it. It was a great break to not have to look at any of these teams for a week. And in this one, I'm going to go with Utah for the sole reason that they're the lower-ranked Big 12 team, and that's the one that always wins.
That is true.
You know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Honestly, I love Cincinnati's offense. It's the most complete Cincinnati team I've seen since the Desmond Ridder days. And Brendan Sorsby has been one of the best college football quarterbacks that I feel like people are overlooking. And they're sitting comfortably in the whole, a Big 12 situation over there. And they've kind of solidified themselves in that driver's seat over there. And I don't like Aiden Abe's whole predicament about the Big 12 not being fun. I'm taking Cincinnati.
I am also going to take Cincinnati. Now, it's unreal to me that Utah is favored in this game by 10.5 points. I do think that Utah has had some better wins, but I think that Cincinnati is just the better team, and I think it's going to be a very exciting matchup. I think that it's going to be a very close game. I do see Cincinnati coming out on top.
I think Cincinnati surprised a whole lot of people, moving up, being ranked right now. And I think Utah is looking to stay alive in this Big 12 race to try and get to the championship game. And I think that they get their ground game going early, but I think Cincinnati ultimately winds up winning the game. I think they make enough plays towards the end of the game to pull away from them. Yep. But I got to ask, if the Cincinnati Bearcats were to come to West Georgia, who do you think would win?
The Wolves.
The Wolves. The Wolves will win this one.
I got the Wolves as well.
Who knew?
Didn't expect that.
Now, moving on, we have Vanderbilt, Texas, another big SEC game. Aiden, where do you want to start with this one?
Vanderbilt and Texas. This Texas team has been sorely, 100%
Trace McSorley.
and completely disappointing this season. Arch Manning has not looked like the quarterback we thought he was, except for a few moments where he did. On the other hand, Diego Pavia has looked tremendous the entire time. But Texas's defense, I think, is going to be the antidote. Finally put a stop to Diego Pavia's reign of terror on the SEC. Texas in this one. An upset. Texas over Vanderbilt for the upset.
It's a lot closer than people think. I love what Diego Pavia has been able to emphasize against these defenses. But Texas, sleeper team. I'm gonna stick with the secret agent over here, and I'm gonna, go for the underdog.
Now, neither one of you sounded confident in your picks. I'm taking Vandy in this one.
I didn't want to pick
what are we
him,
talking about? Texas. We just mentioned Texas has not looked good at all, and Vandy is looking hot this season.
Whoa.
Yes,
You're right. Texas has not looked good.
They have
especially
not looked
with
good.
the win versus Oklahoma.
I think I'm going to stick with what I said earlier, and Vandy is going to win out the rest of the season until that game against Tennessee. Give me Vandy in this one very easily.
Yeah, I think you two went over there and joined the world's largest cocktail
Hold on,
party a
guys.
little bit early. But I think that Vanderbilt, for sure, I think is going to wind up winning this game. Diego Pavia has a really big game in it.
What if I told you that Arch Manning had more passing yards and just as many passing touchdowns as Diego Pavia this season? Doesn't that say something about perspective that we have in this world, guys?
I know, right?
Hey,
Social commentary, right?
Diego Pavia has the team around him. But we have our game of the week here. It's going to be Oklahoma and Tennessee.
I'm going to stop you right there, because what if the Wolves, what if Vandy or Texas came down to City? Give me the Wolves. All right, next.
Give me the Wolves. But Oklahoma and Texas, the Sooners traveling to Knoxville to Neyland Stadium to take on the Volunteers. Aiden, who do you got?
Oh, Oklahoma versus Tennessee. I got Tennessee getting the win in this one. This is strength on strength. Tennessee's tremendous offense versus Oklahoma's great defense. And I think Tennessee's offense wins out. Tie goes to the runner, as they say.
Despite Oklahoma having a great defense, I've liked what I've seen out of Tennessee a little bit more this season. I'm taking the Tennessee Volunteers.
I think that Oklahoma's going to have a lot to play for this week after the loss last week against Ole Miss. Very, very close game. They could have won that game very easily, but it just did not go in their favor. I think John Mateer is going to have a bounce-back week this week. I think that Oklahoma's defense is still top 5. I think that Oklahoma gets this one done.
All right, and for me, I think that I mentioned it earlier. I think Joey Aguilar is going to have a huge game today or tomorrow, and it doesn't get easier, I think, for Tennessee. I think that Tennessee winds up winning this one big in old Rocky Top.
Rocky Top.
But I got to tell you, if the Volunteers were to visit Carrollton, Georgia,
the City of Dreams.
But we mentioned a whole lot of campus legends right here. So let's get into our signature segment, Campus Legend.
Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Reggie Bush, Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel. What do these guys have in common? All these players know what it's like to be a campus legend.
So, JT, we're going to start with you, and who is going to be your campus legend for the day?
So my first, I was about to just say his name. His college, Clemson.
Keep going.
No
Give
guesses?
me a position, yeah.
Wide receiver.
Oh, there's been a few.
There's a few of those.
Give me.
Please don't tell me it's one we've already done.
No guesses. No guesses.
No.
Keep me going on.
33rd overall in 2020.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Who is that? 2020.
I'm walking in.
I'm locking in as well.
Me too.
All right. All right. Fourth hint.
Hold on, I got it. I'm locking in. Everybody's locked in.
Locking in. Everybody's locked in. The last two hints, 2020 to now, team, the Bengals. Flip those boards. T. Higgins, Justin Ross. That's a great guess. Great pull, but it's not correct. It is T. Higgins.
So put us each down for 3.
All right, and Jackson, we're going to go with your campus legend next.
All right.
Tiger's whole life.
College, San Diego State.
I'm going to lock in.
I don't want to lock in just yet.
I'm not locking in.
I'm going to lock in, guys. I know this one.
I have a feeling, though.
Do you want me to tell you position?
Yeah.
Yep.
Linebacker.
Oh.
Oh. Nope.
What? Next hint.
Next hint.
5th overall in 1990.
No.
He played from 1990 to 2009.
Whoa.
Long career.
Oh,
All right.
I
A
don't
long
know who this
linebacker
is,
career.
Yeah.
And
Give
he
me the
played for
things.
the Chargers, Patriots, and Dolphins.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Good player.
I don't know how to
Oh.
spell his name,
I
but
don't know who this is. I would go on a limb here.
I don't know how to spell his name, but I know the player. I think.
Flip boards.
Junior Seau?
Oh. I put Monty Teo.
It is Junior Seau.
Hey!
It is Junior
put
Seau.
Mant-
NFL Hall of Famer Junior Seau. Rest in peace.
Rashad Penny, man.
1 point
San
for
Diego
Brandon.
State
1 point
legend.
for Brandon
All
there.
right, and Aiden, let's go through with yours. What you got for us today?
All right, my player played at the University of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. No
yeah,
guess.
the
I'm not
University
gonna
of
guess.
No
Oklahoma.
guesses.
I'm not going to guess on Oklahoma.
He was a running back.
I'm
Give me
gonna
some
walk
years.
in. I'm gonna walk in.
Okay.
I got nothing.
I'm gonna walk in for 4 because I'm just gonna solidify.
Just for fun. Just having a good time.
Just for
There you
funsies.
go.
This would give him the
Good.
lead.
Would. He was drafted in the 3rd round, 71st overall in the 2011 draft.
I think I got this.
2011. No, he was earlier than you think he is. I know who you wrote down.
How do you know? You soul read him?
No, I know who Jackson wrote down. I know who Jackson is.
Okay.
No, I'm not locking.
I'm playing it safe today.
I am too. I shouldn't be though.
Okay. He played for the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Titans.
I know who this is. Oh, Jackson may have got this guy.
At 4.
Oh, my bad. I accidentally put a letter down that wasn't supposed to be there. Had to erase it.
Was it Fred?
Didn't
Fred
want to
Wagner?
misspell it.
I don't have a guess.
All right. He played from 2011 to 2017.
So you said teams were what?
The Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Titans from 2011 to 2017.
Jackson may have gotten this one.
At 4? Yeah, I did.
I don't got a guess.
All right, throw it up.
Let's reveal.
Murray.
DeMarco Murray all around. That is correct. Shout out to DeMarco Murray.
I thought that he had written down
Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson.
Nope.
So Jackson locked in for
4.
All right.
Brandon got.
We are.
My thoughts would have
2.
been Psalm J.P. Ron, personally, but
And we are
Brandon.
back over me for the last one. Yeah, I went to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I'm going to throw it down.
hold on. I'm going to lock in.
I'm going to walk in.
Okay.
Double locking in. This marker is
I'm
not
not.
working very well.
I'm
for
not
me.
logging in. I'm waiting for the position.
I'm walking in.
I'm locked in.
Pittsburgh wide receiver.
Oh,
Oh.
man, I tried to go with the player from Brady's childhood. It did not work out.
Oh.
Funny you mentioned, because this is a guy from my childhood.
Oh, great.
Oh,
so
then yeah, I don't know.
I don't know it.
Yeah, you do.
Next.
1961 5th overall draft pick.
We heard a what the from the
Yeah,
from
Joey.
from the control room from Mr. Joey.
1961. 5th round pick from 1961.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
Fifth
I know
overall.
this. I
Fifth
know this one.
overall. Fifth
Yeah,
overall.
I'm locking in.
He may know this, guys.
I'm locking in. All right.
Does he know the guy?
Give me the next
All right,
hints.
he
I'm
played
locked
from
in.
1961 to 1972.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I think I
Played
got
for
this.
the Bears,
Yeah.
Eagles, and Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Fred Jones, let's see what you got.
Tom Brady.
No, that's not Tom Brady.
I
No,
went
I know
Dan
who it is.
Marino.
I put James
I
Conner.
think it's Mike Ditka.
I can't believe you guys forgot about Mike Ditka, the head coach for the Bears
He was a
in
receiver?
1985.
This was somebody's last week.
Mike
No,
Ditka?
it was not.
Mike Ditka was somebody's
Oh, I
campus
don't know. I
legend
wasn't
last
here.
week.
I don't know why I said it like I
It
knew.
sure was not. Jackson is.
Anyway.
Nick Wild is wild in the mind right
Mike
now.
Ditka was an on-brand pick. I thought.
Anyways, thank you for tuning in, you guys. This has been another episode of The Playbook, and we will see you next Friday at noon.
We will.